They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
We're getting closer to his return, and the closer we get to him, the faster things are going to happen, the faster the healings, the faster the deliverance, the faster.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Oh, yes, boys and girls, warm welcome to Crypto 7 this Sunday. And there's not much to talk about in crypto, so only going to be a minute or two. Oh, hang on a minute. There is a lot to talk about, in particular the fact that Ethereum's taking off. And we all know how important that is for PulseChain. So Richard Hart, founder of PulseChain, he launched crypto in the last bull market, did it at 10,000x, which is 1,000,000%, guys. Yes, that's right, 1,000,000%, even more if you staked. But if you didn't stake, if you just kept it all liquid, you could have walked away with 1,000,000%, which is 10,000x, which is $1 million out of $10,000. Yes, 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 yes. Please deploy the like on entry, as we say on Crypto 7. So the maverick enigmatic founder of PulseChain has posted this, and he's bull posting, guys. He's bull posting. Don't believe the hype that Richard Hart isn't around. He's more around than most crypto founders based on his X activity. And he's posted about how PulseChain's about to take off. And you can see this van taking off here with PulseChain down the side. You see what he's doing there, guys? Yes, yes, yes. Let's shout some people out. So he's very, very bullish. He's also shown some charts. He thinks that Ethereum's about to take off. And Richard Hart's quite good at TA. He's also got a lot of good, clever people around him. Well, you can imagine as a billionaire you would do, wouldn't you? And Milan Tank was first. That's fantastic. Mikey Brew was second. And David Laws was third. You are my podium, guys. Spray up that champagne. Spray that champagne everywhere. David Laws says, hey, 7, cheers to you and all the Monaco gang from Tasmania. That's what we say on Crypto 7. Load the boat on PulseChain now. Load the boat on Hex now. Load the boat on PLSX now. And we're all going to make it to Monaco. And there's 3 doorways. This is a concept that Crypto 7 is introducing. I mentioned it yesterday. We're going to talk about it more and more because it's the most important thing to talk about. I can see now we're far enough into this bull market that I can see there are 3 doors in front of us for PulseChain. This is pretty much for all cryptos, but I'm tailoring it a little bit for PulseChain. My IP, guys. But there's only 3 doorways now we could go through. One is fantastically bullish. The second is incredibly bullish, even more bullish. And the third is bad. The third is really bad. I give that a 10% probability. I give the very bullish a 60% probability. I give the insanely bullish trust funds for the grandkids 30% possibility now with PulseChain. And there's this 10% possibility that we could all be in deep trouble. But that's kind of always the case in anything in life. If you didn't know that, you do now. If you went around thinking that you were 100% certain that everything was going to be great in life, well, I've got news for you, but there is a possibility. We talked about that yesterday. We're going to talk about that again, but we're going to talk about that later because there's more important things to talk about. Because on Crypto 7, we focus on the sentiment because human emotions control the buy button and the sell button. And so we can concentrate on sentiment, and my channel really is a fusion of sentiment analysis and a lot of experience and a lot of gut instinct as well, you know. A level of maturity, shall we say, in the crypto space, guys. So I can see how it's going to go now. And even in 24 hours, I think that Doorway 1, if you watched my stream yesterday, you'll know what I'm talking about, but don't worry, we're going to come on to it. But Doorway 1 now looks even more possible. The probable doorway we're going through. Doorway 1 means we get rich very, very quickly, and it's all over by December. Doorway 2 means it takes a little bit longer. Ultimately, we get richer, but it does require more patience. It does require staying away from the sell button, and we will be tested a bit more. But maybe then we top in end of Q1, Q2. There's potentially a lot more gains on the table. Stupid gains, crazy gains. That's the one we want, but everyone wants the first one. That's the one we should want, I should say. We should want Doorway 2. Girls are more patient than guys. I'm generalizing. Generalization is a fantastic tool, guys. Don't shy away from generalization. The 80-20 rule and all that. You want to generalize. Next time somebody says, oh, generalizing. Yes, it's a very useful tool. Crypto 7 told me that's how he got his $100,000 piano out of generalizing. That's how he got his £160,000 defender out of generalizing. Generalizing is an important tool, guys. If you didn't know that, you know now. Smash the likes on entry. Make sure to subscribe. It's now well known. Tibetan nomads know that Ethereum is the crypto to be in. And if Ethereum's a crypto to be in, then it won't be long before the Himalayan goat farmers find out that PulseChain is the leverage play on Ethereum. And therefore, really, you don't want to be in Ethereum. You want to be in PulseChain. And the PulseChain is where you're going to get the legacy wells. The PulseChain is where you're going to get the different colors Lambos for every day of the week. Yes, it is, guys. Who else we got in the chat? Lots to talk about today. If you appreciate me streaming on a Sunday morning, early on a Sunday morning, only crazy Englishmen stream early on a Sunday morning, then make sure to post it and share it and force your kids to watch and subscribe on their phones. Anyone received any RH post yet? Intrigued to see what it is. Any RH? Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I think they arrive in America on Friday, Milan Tank, and then of course it may take a week or two for the first to start arriving. As I said yesterday, I'm not quite sure how PulseChain streamers seem to think it's going to take 2 months from the product arriving in America to it being arriving in doorways in America. There is infrastructure available for these things. If you bought some trainers in China, and it took 3 weeks to get from China to North America and then 2 months to get from North America to North America, you'd be a little bit unimpressed, wouldn't you? You'd be a little bit unimpressed. You'd be on the phone saying, don't think I'm using you guys anymore. What infrastructure are you using? What distribution service are we using here? Oh, it's called snail mail. Basically, somebody just crawls to the houses individually with the electronic gift strapped to their back. No, guys, it's not going to take 2 months. You know it's not going to take 2 months. Mr. Crypto JSY says, good morning. Sunday nights have been good recently. Uni DeFi 369 says PulseChain 200x. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. So what Crypto 7 is thinking is that we get relatively rapidly to the highest price that PulseChain's been in this cycle, because them's the rules, guys. I don't make the rules. As we go more into altcoin season, everyone's going to go, well, how high has it gone in this cycle so far? How high has Cardano gone in this cycle so far? Thanks for asking about $1.50. Okay, it's going to go to $1.50 very quickly. How high has Ethereum gone? Oh, well, it's already at the highest point it's gone this cycle. Okay, then that doesn't work, then, does it? What about PulseChain? Oh, it's a 6 or 7x just to get to 3 zeros and a 3, which is the highest it's been in this cycle. Sign me up for that, baby. The 6 or 7x is the low-hanging fruit. Is when nobody will want it, but then you 6 or 7x the next 6 or 7x, which gives you a 50x. But I'm thinking we get to 3 zeros and a 3 within the next 6 to 8 weeks, and then another 6 to 8 weeks to get to. Is that right? Is that what I said? Yeah, that's right. And then another 10x on top of that. And I'm thinking that this cycle could all be over in 4 months now. That's what my sentiment analysis is telling me, guys. This could all be over in 4 months. If you're impatient, and who isn't? If you're a guy, you're probably impatient, yeah? You know what I'm saying, ladies? If you're a guy, you're probably impatient. If you're a guy, you probably want to see those numbers start to go up on your screen. We've waited long enough, haven't we? So I think we're going through doorway 1. So the lizard brains in us will be pleased about that. The need to be self-validated by our treasures will be fulfilled by that. Doorway 2 would have been better, if you want my honest opinion, and if you're in it for the long game, and if you can afford to stay away from the sell button and things. Doorway 2 would ultimately have got us the thousands of X's, but I think we're going to have to settle for the hundreds of X's, because I think we're going through doorway 1. And doorway 1 is that retail start to pile in, and then they can't be stopped this time. I think that the market makers are not going to try, or they try and they won't be able to succeed this time. And what's making me think this is we show on Crypto 7 that the searches for best altcoins is going through the roof. Just for people who are new to Crypto 7 or in any event, this is what I'm doing is unapologetically repeating stuff, but saying it better and saying it in the context of exactly what's happening today, which isn't exactly what happened yesterday. So things are moving fast now, guys. I think this will all be over in about 4 months tops. And I think that if you were planning on going away on holiday and shutting the laptop, think again, dummy. You're letting your family down. If you were thinking of wasting money on an expensive holiday, think again. cancel the holiday. Tell them you can't go. Tell the wife you can't go, because I'm telling you now, guys, I think this is going to be all over in 4 months. I'm going to show you why, using the 3 doorways, which is my IP. If you see any other PulseChain streamers talking about 3 doorways, you know they got that from Crypto 7, because I got it from here. I got it from here, guys. Yes, yes, yes. And we're all excited. Crypto 7's excited. You can tell I'm excited. If you're new to Crypto 7, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to tickle the like button, slap the sub button, and ring that bell button, baby. That's the most important thing. You got to ring that bell button. Darren says, morning, everyone. Uni DeFi 369 says, awful man that you're streaming again. You know what time it is. I can feel it coming too. That's right. If you notice, thank you very much, Uni DeFi. We do have the best looking and most intelligent viewers on Crypto 7. We're a live channel, live feed, live prices, live comments. If you notice, Ivan on Tech started streaming twice a day because he thinks it's all going to be over fairly soon as well. I think fairly soon. I think it's all going to be over in 4 months. It might run into Q1, but I wouldn't count on it. I don't think we're going to need it to. Crypto and coffee, you're not going to need it to. I think we're going to 200x in PulseChain. You're not going to need more than 200x. If you need more than 200x, you're not uncomfortably invested. If you need more than 200x, you know, you've got your priorities all wrong. You've wasted money on the summer holiday or something. You've got 3 cars when you could have managed with 1 and asked a wife to walk to work. You could have managed it, guys. Ashmore's in the house, and Ashmore's coming with the first super chat. We really appreciate the super chats. Super chats stand out. This channel is going to explode. I heard, I heard another channel say, oh, my channel's going to explode. Well, okay, then. Well, it's not at the moment. My channel is going to explode because I appeal to a wider audience. You know, I appeal to mainstream. I'm invested in 45 different cryptos. Look, do I think Hex and PulseChain are your best chance of getting to Monaco? Yes, I do. Am I invested in Sui, Say, Aptos, Solana? All of these things, yes, I am. Superverse, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. Yes, yes, yes. That's a mouthful, isn't it? Ashmore says, been watching 7 and DCAing since November. Got 50k in cores. What's your prediction for my portfolio at the top? 50k times by 200 is, I think it's 2 million, isn't it? Isn't it? I think the 2 million, 50 times. I think someone correct me in the chat. I think that's 2 million. I think you're going to be fine. But of course, nobody sells everything at the top, and nor should you. Show me a guy that gets lucky, because it's about as likely as winning the lottery. I did hear of one hexagon that pulled it off in the last cycle, but the chances that you're going to sell the top is as likely as winning the Euro Millions. Okay, so if you show me somebody that managed to pull it off, I'll say, well, they were stupid. They're just very stupid, but incredibly lucky. They were incredibly lucky. Okay. And so nobody should be trying to do that, which means obviously you have to start selling at a certain point. And so realistically, when somebody says to me, keep that in mind, guys, so 50k is quite good, I would say 20k, a 50x on 20k is $1 million. So if you've got 50k, then that's 2.5 million, isn't it? But that's realistically going to get you $1 million, because you want to be starting to sell a little bit just in case, because we never know. That's doorway 3. That's doorway 3. I give it a 10% chance. Look, it might be a 5% chance. It might be a 15% chance. Let's not split hairs, and nobody knows, because really that's going to involve the stock market's collapsing sooner than we thought, possibly because of a black swan. There's plenty of potential black swans out there. They're lining up. They're all from Jurassic Park with big feathers, big beaks, and nasty things frothing at the mouth. They haven't had their rabies jabs. You know, there's plenty of black swans that could stop it all. That's why show me somebody that says, I'm going to be really brave, and RH Max says, I've just got to adopt a winning mindset or something. I don't know, I picked him out randomly. You're still stupid, because you just don't know what could happen. So if you've got 50k in, for instance, as Ashmore has, right, you don't want to be risking when it becomes 150, 250,000, half a million is a 10x for Ash. You don't want to be saying, oh, look, I'm just going to chance it that there's not going to be that 10% doorway 3, that 10% things end sooner than we thought. We have a massive black swan or a convergence of nasty black swans, you know, like a black swan convention. Oh my God, I'm surrounded by black swans. You know, that could happen. Could happen, guys. So what the answer is, you've got to start selling. If you start selling, then obviously no one's going to get the top anyway. But so in the case of Ash here, If he's got 50k in the cause now, I think very realistically he can bank $1 million and walk away from this cycle with $1 million. Obviously, if he had a crystal ball and huge testicles the size of a rhino's testicles, he could have walked away with $2.5 million, but he's not going to be able to do that. Extremely lucky and all the rest, you know. So I think that's roughly where I am, guys, particularly as I think we're going through doorway 1, which means the predictions have to be tempered a bit, because we're only going to be going up so high in 4 months. You can go up a lot, you can go up hundreds of X's, but I don't think you can go up thousands of X's in 4 months, because if we last for 4 months, and this is what I think we're going to do. Sorry, I'm bouncing around a little bit, guys. I hope that's okay. It's a Sunday. Just put me on the background of the things, you know, because I'm going to be repeating these points again and again between now and the end of the cycle, because I don't think there's anything else to talk about. I'll give you my view on which doorway I think is most likely. I'll give you a percentage chance. There's only 3 doorways, guys. There isn't 4 doorways. There isn't 5 doorways. Okay, any streamer that tells you there's 7 doorways is lying. There's 3 doorways. Doorway 1, things start to take off, and I'm going to show you the evidence that things are going to take off now, guys. I heard another channel quite aggressively repeating that he's of highest value content on YouTube, or aggressively, like, you know, if you say it often enough, I suppose it's like saying P-Dye's going to go to $1. P-Dye's going to go to $1. P-Dye's going to go to $1. You see them on the big shows just making a nuisance of themselves. I even had to say yesterday, there's, you know, Hexican's spamming a low cap shitter. That's what he called P-Dye. But anyway, this streamer Somi keeps saying, I'm the highest value content on YouTube. Well, I suppose if you keep shouting it, maybe people will believe you, but I mean, I don't think you are, buddy. Anyway, let's share this anyway. Oh, by the way, look, we've got another super chat. Fantastic, from Nathan White. Look, I'm gonna give you guys control. There's 60 people watching exclusively on YouTube now. If at the end of the stream you'd like me to give my honest opinions about Somi making stuff up about Richard Hart's endorsement of P-Dye, or his hidden support for P-Dye through cryptic messages and first letters starting paragraphs and things, if you want me to give me my honest opinion, I will do. In which case, put in 1. If you think, no, Crypto 7, keep it positive, ignore that, don't give it fuel, don't give it ammunition, he's getting less and less views all the time, don't give him any ammunition, don't even mention it, then put in 2. But if you'd like me to give my honest opinion later, because I never shy from controversy, unlike most of the PulseChain streamers. I mean, most of the PulseChain streamers, I talk to them offline, they're all of the same view about P-Dye, but they haven't got the balls to say so publicly. I have, and I will, and I've got, because no one can affect me. I've already got my $160,000 Defender, I've got my $100,000 piano, I've got 45 cryptos. I can make my views and make my expressions. I don't have to worry about keeping Somi sweet, which is why I haven't even got 10,000 subscribers, by the way. Anyway, we got Nate. So let me know. 1, if you want me to tell you how it is with P-Dye and Somi, and 2, if you think, no, Crypto 7, I just like positive, fluffy, middle-aged Crypto 7, surprisingly good-looking middle-aged Crypto 7. Let's just go with that one. Let's go with nice Crypto 7. We don't want nasty Crypto 7. So 1 if you want nasty Crypto 7, 2 if you want, 2 if you want fluffy Crypto 7. Neymar White's in the house. He's thrown in a generous super chat. I never say the amounts. You know, I think he's a little bit crass, but it's a generous super chat. 7, so you're saying the top could be in December. I was thinking it could be February 2026. It could well be 2026. I think it's very split at the moment. But we don't know quite yet, but we will know soon. If you subscribe to Crypto 7, I'm going to show you why, Neymar. Thanks very much for the super chat. I'm going to show you exactly why I'm thinking what I'm thinking. Isn't this fantastic? We've got people commenting in the chat, supporting the show, and I'm responding exactly with a chart showing exactly why I'm currently thinking it could be December. Look, you got to factor it could be December. There's no point going skiing in December. Let's put it that way, Neymar White, yeah? Fantastic. If any point you're getting value, guys, if you're not getting value, then someone's distracting you. You need to listen again. Highest value content on YouTube, okay? Right? Got it, everyone? I am the highest value. Oh, God, give me a break, Somi. Right, so here we are. So Here we've got best altcoins, and as I always say, the only people that are going on Google, not ChatGPT, not Grok, Google, and searching best altcoins are people that are brand new to crypto. We see them coming in now. We see them in the chat on Ivan's show. We see retail. We saw it again yesterday. Retail are coming in now, and you can see it here graphically. And now the data is confirmed. The solid line means the data is confirmed. It's closed the week on those number of searches. The dotted line is where it's going to close. But even the confirmed data now, guys, sorry, it's a little bit small on the screen, but here where my cursor is, you can see that this is the last cycle here. This is the 4 months I talk about. This is when retail flooded in between Jan and May 2021. And I think we are in the equivalent now of January 2021. This is the sentiment bull run now that's starting. And you see how it lasted for 4 months, because for the whole 4 months, do you see how it was higher than at any other point in the cycle, right? I think this is exactly, or this here is exactly the start of the 4 months. You start the clock from the week of 13th to the 19th of July. So add 4 months onto that. I'm thinking that's a cycle now. And the reason being that, look, we've got confirmed data higher than any point in the history of mankind. Okay, going back to the woolly mammoths, we've never had more retail coming in than this. This is confirmed data now. And here the dotted line, well, this is just going nuts, isn't it? You see how this is going nuts? So retail are coming in now. And I think it's going to be hard for the market makers. Even yesterday, I said, oh, I don't think they're going to let the market run away from them while they're in Martha's Vineyard. Well, I've changed my mind already in 24 hours. And that's why you watch Crypto 7 every day. Crypto 7 streams daily, every day. You get the idea. Anyway, the point is, this is why Ivan's streaming twice a day. Somebody made the comment in a super chat. Thank you for that again. This is why we're streaming more now, because this could all be over in 4 months, like in Top Gun 1, you know. Through 4 minutes, this is all going to be over in 2 minutes, blah, 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 go Mac, whatever. It was all, got to watch. If you haven't seen Top Gun 1, you got to watch Top Gun 1. Anyway, so things are really taking off now. And when this data confirms, I think it's going to be hard. There's a certain level, isn't there? You know, it's like, okay, I'm going to give up fixing the sandcastles moat now because the ocean's just coming in. This is the retail ocean coming. Do you like the metaphor? It is rumored that I have the best metaphors. I mean, Somi might have the most high value channel on the internet, debatable, but I definitely have the best metaphors. And if you hang around, you'll experience the metaphors. So I think this is the retail ocean bursting through the sandcastles that you built for your kids. You've tried to keep them going because your kids are quite small and they're going to cry when the sandcastle gets nuked. But unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it. And that's what's happening right now. So retail are flooding in. Now, the other thing, I've shown this chart before, but what I haven't shown you before is in what little spare time I have, I tend to like to scroll through Instagram. I don't look at anything crypto. It's because it's my break. It's my downtime. You know, I tend to look at these little video clips of good-looking girls in Monaco and things. I don't look at that's just my guilty pleasure. I don't look at crypto stuff. But suddenly my feed is full of crypto stuff. Have you noticed if you're on Instagram, suddenly Instagram's being overtaken by little crypto videos? This is retail flooding in now, and these things are very, very effective at getting people into crypto. So you've probably seen them, or maybe on some other social platforms, but you'll have seen now that there's suddenly all these really catchy little. They're very funny, aren't they? I mean, some of them are very, very funny. And there's one of this girl is demanding that her rich boyfriend cashes out some Solana to buy a handbag, and he's like, no, look, I'm low on fiat. I'm all in crypto at the moment. I'm a millionaire, but I'm a millionaire in crypto. And she goes, oh, you're so broke. It's staged, but there's people around who think it's a real conversation. And this guy's sort of like, he's somewhere posh like Monaco, and he's arguing why he needs to stay in Solana, and you know, and then he's like, I'll buy you the handbag when Solana gets to 300. And she goes, well, where is it now? And he's like, oh, it's 180. And she was like, well, you know, what if it doesn't go to 300? And, you know, I can't believe you're so broke. It's very funny. Anyway, there's lots and lots of them. You've seen them. So this means that retail's coming in. You don't have to make it too scientific. You don't have to make it really technical. If you're on Instagram and you've noticed, then retail are coming in. If you can understand what I'm saying about the searches for Google, this is the most firm, surefire barometer for retailer coming in, and it's here on the screen now in front of you guys. So retailer flooding in like the ocean wrecking your kid's sandcastle. They're coming in through Instagram. They're coming in through Google. And if we look back to, as I say, the last cycle, there was 4 months of retail froth, and then things fizzled out, and then Michael Saylor and others managed to get this sort of like fake double top blip, which didn't get up to these sorts of levels anyway. So I think if we ignore that, because I don't think that's going to be repeated, I think that things are going to go wild now. I think things are going to go crazy. Let's hook up with the chat, see what people think, see if people think it's going to go crazy. Let's see if people want me to comment on Somi going all guns blazing on making things up about Richard Hart now or not. We got a 2. What do we got? Another 2. So people, I've not got many numbers though, so people want to, so that can still be swayed. So I've got a few 2s. Nobody's put 1. So 1 was no, just keep to the technical stuff, keep to the sentiment analysis. We don't want to hear about your views on PDI. That's number 1. Number 2 is no, go for it. Crypto 7, speak your mind. Why not? Oh, great. We've got Lukey B in the house. Yeah, nice to see you too, guys. Nice to see you too. Super chat stand out. We've got 2. We got 2 already. We got 10 the other day. I mean, we got 10 the other day. It's really nice. It's really nice. Shows we're not a broke community, and I do appreciate it. Obviously, I don't need the money, but I appreciate it. It's nice. It's nice. And you guys won't need the money soon either. So if I'm helping you on a weekend, then show your appreciation. Let's do this, guys. And it stands out then as well. So even in 24 hours, I have to revise what I'm saying. And this goes to somebody was saying here, oh, so you've kind of changed your view a little bit. Yeah, I will. I'm not one of these streamers that will say, oh, well, 6 months ago I said this, and so I'm going to ignore everything that goes on around me, and I'm still saying this prediction. So, for instance, my prediction for Ethereum since the start of the bear market in 2022 has been about 12K in this bull market. Well, I've had to rip that up because it's going higher than 12K now. It's going a lot higher than 12K now. Yeah, it was Neymar White. He said it with a generous super chat. He are up in lights again, saying, do you think now things could end in December? They could end in December, because the funny thing is that if you look at this sentiment period we had, this frothy period of retail searching best altcoins in 2021, it was 4 months long. It was 4 months long. And if we are just starting again a similar thing, 4 months does take us to December. So there's plenty of time for us to go back in line with a more traditional model. And because more people are aware of crypto now, because it's easier to onboard, well, I don't know if it is actually, but there's a lot of KYC now and things that have to be done, isn't there? But there's just more people, there's more pathways, there's more networks and things. So and there are things like Robinhood and PayPal, and there are all sorts of, yeah, there is a plethora of onboarding methods with ETFs and treasury reserves, and yeah, there is a lot of ways of getting into crypto now. So you can even buy stock in companies that are all in on crypto. So now what I want to show you is we got a shout out from Ivan. Let's share. So I've had Crypto 7. That's why you subscribe to Crypto 7. And basically, when he shouts me out, he's shouting you guys out, all the people that are watching and subscribe to Crypto 7. And it shows that we are a credible channel amongst arguably the best crypto channel in the world, which is Ivan Ortec. He shouted us out again yesterday. Did you catch it? Let's play it now.
Let's go to 300K first, okay? Yo, Crypto 7, thanks for the shout out, Ivan, Picnic. Yeah, Hexicans. Well, I mean, listen, I'm not giving a shout out for the sake of it. It's just that clearly on the monthly chart, Hexicans are easing. They're easing today. They're easing this month. As you can see, the bubble is right here. Hexicans are even outperforming Pengu this month. Let's see how it's gonna continue. And but thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Hexicans, make some noise in the chat. Let's see if with the Hexicans we can get above 3.5K likes.
Superb. One thing that's absolutely fantastic, guys. I mean, if just 1 billionaire is watching, if 1 billionaire is watching, you've got your underground parking in Monaco with the elevator that goes straight, private elevator that goes straight to the apartment, retina scan and all that. So these are the things that make the difference. One thing I was slightly disappointed with was having pulled that off for you guys again, as I say, twice in a week, not bad. And he doesn't mention Somi anymore, does he? And one of the things that I was disappointed with was then a number of PDI guys were aggressively spamming the chat to the point where I think we're going to now. We may as well talk about it now, to the point where, because Ivan's completely gone cold on the whole PDI thing. He found it funny to start, and now he just thinks it's ridiculous. And I talked to Ivan, as you know, guys, and these guys are aggressively shilling PDI in the chat. PDI to $1, PDI to $1, and it was just annoying him. So in the end, he just said, "Look, I've got a hexagon shilling a low cap shitter," and that's how he described PDI, a low cap shitter. And so you guys are doing yourselves no favor. You're definitely doing the cause no favor, but you're doing yourselves no favor either. And once Richard returns, and that doesn't necessarily mean physically comes around your house or goes to a conference, just the fact that he's sort of doing things like pulling the strings on these marketing gifts and doing these fantastically bullish posts is enough, really, really driving the ship, shall we say, steering the ship, I should say. Then you're not going to be able to compete with that. And so it's very disappointing, and I didn't see anyone sort of shilling PulseChain after I managed to get another shout out there. And Ivan said, "Let's hear from the hexagons." So, if you are a hexagon, if you do have most of your crypto in Hex or PulseChain, and Ivan mentions Hex, and say something about Hex, because I can tell you that I'll tell you now, that there is no credibility left in PDI whatsoever, because there's just been too many disproven narratives. There's been far too many narratives created and formed by guys like Decentralized Me and Somi that have been subsequently disproven by the facts, disproven by developers, and disproven by Richard Hart. So because of that, it's at a point where the credibility for PDI cannot recover. Now, I'm actually going to give you some free consultancy advice. If you're in PDI, if you're hoping to cheat the system and maybe with a small bag outperform Crypto 7 and all the nice people in the chat here, who've got like somebody who's got $50,000 in the core coins. If you want to outperform for someone like that with $5,000, I can tell you how to do it, but it's not through PDI, because PDI has reached the point where the credibility, and credibility is everything, whether, in everything in life, in business and in crypto and everything, you can't recover the credibility because there's been too many narratives that have come forward and been proven to be wrong. So therefore, it's a lost cause in that sense. It's a completely lost cause. The other thing that makes PDI dead in the water now, and it's literally flogging a dead horse, is because people are exhausted with the endless PDI narratives. And I know that Ivan is completely exhausted with it, which is why he doesn't shout out PDI anymore, which is why spamming the chat just annoys him, and why he reacted yesterday to say, "Oh, someone's spamming a low cap shitter," which is now how Ivan on Tech describes PDI. So firstly, you've got there's just been too many disproven narratives, so it's lost all credibility. Then you've got the fact that everyone out there, unless you are in PDI currently, everybody, and even probably maybe even you, but everybody outside of that situation, if you're not invested in PDI currently, you are exhausted, totally exhausted with the narratives. I mean, even the pushers of the narratives look exhausted, the ones that show their face, which is Somi mainly. Most of the guys who push PDI are anonymous, but you can see how exhausted Somi's looking. He looks nearly as old as me now. He's exhausted, and he has actually physically collapsed a couple of times in the process. I know, hasn't he? So those are the scenarios. I've noticed that Somi has now taken to going guns blazing on more false claims about Richard's support of PDI, all sorts of nonsense about coded messages. Don't stack up to me. I've noticed it looks like Somi has now been blocked by Richard Hart, because when Somi refers to Richard Hart, he never tags him. So I think that Somi has been blocked. So you're getting that exclusively from Crypto 7. It looks like Richard has blocked Somi. So Somi is currently, and if you don't follow Somi on X, or if you're not on X, or if you weren't aware, just quickly letting you know, there's an influencer called Somi who was very, very popular. He's gone off the wall a bit, and he's all a bit deranged. So I think he's a cross-dressing trans freak myself, but it's all a bit weird. It's all very weird, with the nipple pegs and things. He's showing images of himself in stockings and things. It's all really weird. Okay, I mean, shout out to the trans guys. If you're trans, shout out to you. But it's not. I don't want to put my kid's inheritance into somebody who's trans. He clearly is trans. Okay, and it's not. That's it's a statement of fact. I mean, would you create AI images of yourself in fishnet stockings and things? It's clearly trans, isn't it? So anyway, moving on. I used to work in Covent Garden, so I was surrounded by trans and gays and things, so I've got a good radar for that kind of shit. Right, so that's Covent Garden, West End of London, near Soho, where the trans and gays and things hang out. So anyway, moving swiftly on. It looks like Richard has blocked Somi. I have said, and I'll say again now, Richard, if I'm completely wrong and you're sending coded messages about your support of PDI, then please block me. But that's not going to happen. But anyway, Richard, block me, and if I'm wrong and Somi's right, but it looks like Somi's been blocked by Richard, that's why you'll notice that Somi never tags Richard, but when I refer to Richard, I always have the courtesy of tagging him. It's the normal X protocol, isn't it? It's a normal X etiquette, is to tag somebody if you're referring to them so they know that you're talking about them. So Somi is currently pushing hard this idea that Richard, again, is sending coded messages in his tweets about his support for PDI. I think it's a barefaced lie. I think he's manipulating people. I think he's trying to exit while he can, because once the king returns, there will be no competing with the cause. I would urge anyone that's got well, if you've got a large amount of your dollar value in crypto in PDI, I would urge you to get it out immediately. If you've got a small amount, I'd ask you to reconsider and exit that as well, because that small amount, or that what do they call it, moon bag or something, is going to hamper the cause a little bit. Look, PDI, Somi gets virtually no views. Somi is not going to stop the cause now. There's too much going for the cause. There's too much momentum. But can he slow things down? Yes, he can. And may we only have 4 months to make the most we possibly can? Yes, we can. And by the way, if we've only got 4 months, then logically you want to be starting to sell quite a lot in 2 months. So we've not got a lot of time, you see. We want to make the most of the time we got. That's why Ivan on Tech is streaming twice a day. That's why Crypto7's here streaming on a Sunday morning for you. If you appreciate that, put in a comment and things. I look at all the replay comments. I know not everyone agrees with me when it comes to Somi. He's but I'm just going to have the balls to say what I think. I think he is the emperor. He is the emperor and he's wearing no clothes. I do think that it's all just I don't think it's helpful at all. It's a distraction. It sucks a lot of energy and attention away from the cause and to this narrative, which then discredits all of us. It discredits all of us. Like the guy that was spamming PDI in Ivan's chat yesterday. He would say something about PulseChain, and then a couple of seconds later, PDI to $1. Look, saying something repeatedly doesn't make it happen, guys. I mean, PDI has got $130,000 liquidity. So the total value of PDI is less than the value of my car on my driveway, right? So how's it going to get to a fucking $1? Okay, how's it going to get to $1? By you saying it constantly until Rich Live and on Tech gets irritated? That's not going to get you to $1. It's definitely not going to get you to $1. So I smell the coffee, guys. Now, I'm now going to tell you something which is really what guys like Ivan, like Somi and whoever, what other KOLs are pushing PDI should be doing now. You need a new horse, a new narrative, because there's been so many times PDI's been disproved. It's dead in the water. What you should do is create another mystical narrative that hasn't been disproved, that hasn't had the founder say, no, I'm not supporting this, And then with someone like Somi, who is charismatic, and some other KOLs who are prepared to say whatever they think is going to get them rich, get behind that. That could get some momentum, and that could actually do something. That's what they should do. But they're not doing that because they have a lot of their dollar value in it, and they don't want to give it up. They want to push it up so they can get out. and they'll definitely want to get out before these electronic gifts arrive. And that's why I think they've now gone absolutely extreme. I mean, every couple of hours, Somi is making something up about Richard's support for PDI. So what I would say is, Richard, if you're watching, please block him if you haven't blocked him, but I'm 99% certain Somi has been blocked. Somi has multiple X accounts, and so he will be monitoring what Richard's doing through his other accounts. But I'm pretty sure that, in fact, Somi got banned from X for having that as well once. I'm pretty sure that Somi's main X account has been blocked. Prove me wrong if you can, Somi. I'm pretty sure that Richard Hart has blocked him, which sends a strong message. And so, look, the cause can't be stopped in the same way as retail can't be stopped now, in the same way as the ocean can't be stopped once it's gone through your kid's sandcastle. I think that the cause can't be stopped. And if Richard sort of comes back a bit more, and you maybe goes on a big channel or something, which is probable. It's probable. It's not certain, but it's probable. Then it's instantly game over, because instantly all this nonsense cannot be maintained. And I think that Somi's going to have blood on his hands with a lot of guys. Look, it's obvious that the people that are still in PDI have got very small players. I don't want to be deprecating, but it's obvious you've got very small players. You can see it in the language. When I get PDI haters trying to have a go at me, not one single one could tell me how it's going to $1. The last time I commented on PDI, I invited the PDI community to tell me how it's going to $1. Not one single guy could say one reason why it's going to $1, other than we're going to keep saying it. We're going to keep saying it, Well, that isn't going to make it happen, I'm afraid. I can keep saying that Beyonce is going to take me out for dinner, but it's not going to happen. Well, Beyonce is going to take me out for dinner on Saturday night. Well, no, she isn't, is she? She isn't, guys, because she's got better options. So yeah, I think that the breaking news here is I'm pretty sure that Richard has blocked Somi. As I say, Somi has multiple accounts. I know this because X banned him for it. I know this because I've had those accounts on my channel. And so he's in charge of multiple X accounts, so he'll be tracking. I mean, I've got 2 or 3 X accounts myself. It's no mystery, and if and he will be I think his main account's been blocked by Richard, which sends a very strong message, and it only takes one comment from Richard and it's the PDI is going to 0, or one of these big nasty bag holders selling the money. But realistically, guys, like I say, if all of the PDI guys got together and put all their money together, they couldn't buy the car that I've got in the driveway. And I think there's about 500 bag holders in PDI, which means that one day every 500 days, one day every 2 years, you could drive a car half as good as the car I got in the driveway. So you really need to be realistic about this and realize that it isn't happening with PDI, but it can happen for you in the cause. If you're in 80%, because you hear a lot of these guys say, oh, it's all right to have a moon bag, and, I'm still in the cause. Well, are you? If you are in the cause, if you are mostly in the cause, then just get behind the cause, because it is a crazy distraction that has completely discredited us. Oh, the other final thing I'd say on this topic, and then I'll move on. I'm very, very certain that we would already be above SAC price if it wasn't for PDI. I'm certain we'd already be above SAC price if it wasn't for Somi. This has been such a needless draw of energy and attention. And even when Somi comments on the core coins prices and things, it's all a bit sort of, it's faint praise, isn't it? It's all backhanded compliment. Have you noticed? Have you noticed that, guys? Or the one because most of the days the cores are outperforming PDI, but the one day that PDI outperforms cores, like yesterday, he's sure to point that out, isn't he? Oh, PDI's outperformed the cores. Yeah, well, it didn't do the prior week, did it? And anyway, it irritates me. Will it stop us getting rich? No. I mean, Rich is another level, and he's coming back. But we've heard it all now, haven't we? We've heard that Rich is going to give away free PDI. That was something that Somi was pushing. Absolute barefaced lie. Now every 5 minutes, they're putting letters together in from paragraphs and saying it's coded message. Well, we know Richard doesn't do that shit. We know he's very much. We started the stream showing how he's absolutely And for people coming in now, he's being very clear in his language when it comes to things he's supporting and things he's not and all the rest. So it's just not true. And yeah, it's important to be, because you'll never get another chance like this, guys. I mean, here we are. Look, here we are. Richard Hart very clearly talking about PulseChain. I mean, this is the other thing. You see, his last tweets about PulseChain yesterday. PulseChain on the side. No PDI, you see. Maybe if he was going to do a coded message, there'd be a little PDI on the van somewhere. Would there something? I would have thought so. And then of course, there's this, which is obviously fantastic, which is, hang on a second, it's here. Yeah, here we are. Richard Hart says, let me give you, this is just a few hours ago, guys. Richard Hart says, let me give you some free technical analysis. Here is gold's triple top into 61% move in a year. Do you see how similar it is to the Ethereum chart? Look here, guys. So he's saying that Ethereum's about to go parabolic. And this is what I think. And he says, except ETH is going to go faster. This ETH chart is only 4 years old, whereas the gold chart was 15 years old. And when a resistance is tested again and again and again, it usually breaks. So Richard is saying very clearly that Ethereum is about to go to 10K, 20K. I think it's going to go well over 20K in the next 4 months. And I think it's got time to go over 20K in 4 months. Let's listen to somebody else who seems to have the same view. So no more on PDI. I responded, you guys asked for the PDI, so don't say in the comments, Crypto7, I really like you. You're my favorite streamer, but I wish you'd shut up about PDI, because you had your chance in the comments. You had your chance. You could have super chatted. Crypto7, I'm going to pay you $10 not to talk about Somi, but nobody did. Not even Somi. So let's now listen to... Now, we're going to watch something from Alex Becker here, his stream yesterday. Getting very excited about Ethereum. Now, even if you don't like Alex Becker, you'll like how many people have seen this video, because 150,000 people have seen this. So it's very important that as Hexagon and PulseChain investors, we want to hear what all of crypto are hearing. And this is the highest views for, it's only been out 20 hours. It's 150,000 views. This is proper altcoin season, and more evidence that retail are coming back, because this is a very appealing to retail. Alex Becker. Let's listen to him now, guys. Let's get him up and listen to him. Let's do this, everyone. Smash the likes, put a comment in. Let's go.
Look, here's what's going to happen. And it's going to be just like last bull run. And I know what you might be thinking. Well, how can you copy and paste last bull run? Why would it happen just the same exact way? It's because what I'm telling you about right here isn't some TA or some algorithm or some like crypto unique thing. This is just how humans think. And humans, they haven't changed their thinking strategies since last bull run. So what's going to happen is ETH is going to pump to 4,500, 5,000, 6,000. I don't know when the inflection point is going to hit, but it's going to hit here very soon. Because what everyone in the financial world, all the biggest money on planet Earth, BlackRock, the president, every financial institution, every single normal person, every fucking transaction company, every e-commerce company, everyone is seeing what's happening right now and how much fucking money everyone is making. And DeFi is taking over the entire world. This is going to reprice here drastically, because for the last decade, crypto has been this goofy little joke that no one really understood. What crypto is about to become is the way that everyone settles all their transactions for everything they do. Billions and billions of people are about to start settling their bank accounts, their e-commerce payments, their coffees, their payments for everything online via crypto. The only way we were about to verify what's real or not, and this is going to tie in very deeply into the rest of the video, but the only way we're going to be able to verify what's real or not due to AI videos and everything is going to be blockchain. Blockchain is not about to just be this neat little funny thing that everybody invests in and makes Ponzi scheme money off of. It's about to be the thing that is the bedrock, the foundation of the entire world's verification of anything, transactions, AI videos, everything. And so what we're going to see is we're going to see decentralized finance drastically repriced. I don't know what ETH is getting to. I think we could easily get to $20,000 on Ethereum. I'm not trying to make money off of that prediction now, but there's no reason why. Ethereum is about to be the bedrock of everything. But we don't need to get to $20,000. We're about to see it go to 5,000, 6,000. I don't fucking know. As soon as that happens, though, everyone's going to see this. They're going to see how much fucking money is being made, and they're going to say, what's the next Ethereum? Now, this isn't TA. This isn't some algorithm. This isn't some quant reading. It's just what people fucking do in crypto. So what's going to happen is then people are going to see this. And
so now the world's most influential YouTuber, because a lot of people just copy trade this guy. They look to see what cryptos he's got in his wallets and they just buy whatever he's buying. He's now gone giga bullish on Ethereum, as you can hear. So he's only one step away from working out that really what you should be getting bullish on is the leverage play on Ethereum. Really what you should be getting bullish on is the new layer one for Richard Hart, which is PulseChain.
I think what's next, because Ethereum's going to get the $6,000 from this point. You're not going to make a 3-4x in. And people get in the crypto for those juicy gains. They don't come here to 50% their money. If they want to do that, they get in the stocks. So they're going to come down to these coins right here: Solana, Cardano, Hyperliquid, Sui. I know you guys have been waiting for it. Sui. Sui. All right. So look, we're not doing that this video, but you get the joke. They're going to come down to Sui. They're going to come down to AVAX. They're going to come down to these videos right here. And you're just going to see these things explode. For example, we go back to last run. Let's go look at 2021. See, doing nothing. Then it goes up, doing nothing. And then pow, just nuclear mess of gains from AVAX. And the thing is, we have the most money in the entire world completely sidelined right now, but also taking crypto insanely seriously at this point. Everyone, every country, every institution, every big money, anybody that has billions and trillions of dollars is taking crypto as the next big thing. It's no longer just a little joke. Like last run, we had like people tongue-in-cheek buying Bitcoin just to like get gains. We had people investing in these things right here because they're like, okay, these things are going to pump too. Now everybody thinks this is going to take for the world, which it is going to be, which it's going to do. But we're going to see massive over speculation in these things. This means the valuations on these coins are going to get to levels they have no business getting to. So what's going to happen after Ethereum pumps is people are going to come down here looking for what's next. Then these coins are going to pump. You're going to see 3-4x's on them very quickly.
This issue of crypto overtaking legacy and overtaking DeFi and things and becoming, I said something slightly wrong yesterday. I said that Ethereum could go up a lot because currently it looks like all of this is coming over to Ethereum. It doesn't need to all come over to Ethereum. It doesn't. Only a tiny fraction of it needs to come over to Ethereum, which is starting to happen. But we only need people to speculate that it could. We only need people to start speculating that it might be the case that in 10 years' time, 40% of legacy and 40% of traditional money rails is over on Ethereum. If people even speculate that, guys, Ethereum's going to $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in this cycle. And this is exactly what Alex Becker's saying again. And I watched this. This came out after my stream yesterday. I watched this and I thought, hey, this guy's on the same lines. This guy seems to be thinking that it could all be over in 4 months. I think things are about to go nuts. I think things are going nuts. I said earlier, look, my Instagram's been hijacked by crypto clips, and I don't even watch that shit on Instagram because I tend to like to watch little videos of good-looking girls in Monaco and things. I like to be away from crypto when I'm on Instagram. You guys, are you the same? Suddenly I can't get away from the crypto video clips and things. I'm not liking them. They're just there. And so I think the next 4 months are going to go nuts. I think we would have been better off with Doorway 2, which is a slower bake, a slower run into. I've got a super chat I must read out from Strong Powerful. Sorry, I didn't read that out sooner. Yeah, and this goes to your nice super chat, Strong Powerfuls, which is it could go longer if we get an exchange listing. Well, it could certainly go higher. I'm not sure it could go longer, maybe a little bit. Maybe we could be one of those cryptos that keeps going 21 days after Bitcoin tops and Ethereum tops, sort of thing. Maybe a little bit longer. And okay, I'll take your point, Strong Powerfuls. You can make a lot of gains in another extra week. So in the last bull market, Hex actually topped in September, but some cryptos did keep going till November, December. Some did keep going. So obviously, you could be looking at 2 or 3x higher gains, and something like an exchange listing at the right time could just be the thing that catalyzes that. I agree with that, Strong Fire Force. And of course, this point about how we only need one Coinbase, one Binance to list PulseChain, and it's a game changer. You can add a 0 onto our price predictions. Is completely right, and I don't talk about it enough. I don't think the other PulseChain streamers talk about it enough. So I thank you, Strong Power Force, for pointing that out. Yeah, there's it's very, very interesting. Even if you despise Alex Becker, I find him very entertaining. But even if you despise him, even if you do have a bag of Cardano, because he's very mean about the Cardano boys losing their girlfriends and things. But even if you don't like Alex Becker, you got to like the fact that you're watching something with me now on a Sunday morning showing the most popular video in crypto, which means 150,000 people have seen this already, guys. So how many billionaires is that? Maybe 10? Maybe 10 billionaires have watched this? 10 billionaires, should we say? He's told 10 billionaires today that Ethereum is going nuts. Well, now we only need one of those 10 billionaires to hear that we are the leverage play on PulseChain. Maybe one of those billionaires is watching now. We only need one, and suddenly, like Strong Power Force says, it's a fucking game changer, guys. Give us a Coinbase or a Binance listing, and we're not going to do a 200x in PulseChain between now and December. We could add a 0 onto that. I agree. One billionaire sees Crypto 7 now and not in a month's time or 2 months' time, then we're going to make more gains because this is going to get the party started. We shouldn't be below SAC price. I'm delighted that we're over 50% of SAC price because that gives us a little bit of credibility. Tangent says he feels nauseous when we're below half of SAC price. But make no mistake, if it wasn't for the complete drain in energy and attention that Somi has created with PDAI, and a lot of people think it's personal with Somi, I couldn't care less. We've got nothing in common. We're at different parts of the globe. We're never going to meet. I couldn't care less about Somi. I'd much rather be doing better things. The sun's shining. I'd much rather be doing other things. I'm busy with the show jumping with Abby and things. There's much more better things I could do. Be talking about Somi. I couldn't care less about Somi. He couldn't care less about me. But he is a massive, massive hindrance now. A massive hindrance to us. I believe firmly that we would be above those SAC prices. And as we say on Crypto 7, as soon as we get over those SAC prices, we're going to start accelerating. We're going to go faster between 3 zeros and a 1 to 3 zeros and a 2 than this journey we're currently on now. And we're going to go faster between 3 zeros and a 2 to 3 zeros and a 4 than we go from 3 zeros and a 1 to 3 zeros and a 2. It's going to go exponential. We're going to accelerate faster and faster and faster, guys. Let's see if there's anything we missed.
And then what's going to happen is every motherfucker who owns a television, all the normal people, all the normies, all the institutions are going to say, like a person in Vegas, all right, I've won my last 3 bets in a row. Time to double down, time to go hard. And they're going to come down to the lower coins. And this is where we're going to make stupid fucking amounts of money. Now, last run, if you could predict it very well, the places that made oodles of money, it was gaming coins. Okay, so for example, I showed you Sandbox, and if you could,
I still think gaming's not done. Guys know I'm in things like Superverse. I don't think gaming's done, but I'm glad that I haven't, bet the farm on it because it's not certain. It might be something else comes along, but gaming is a huge industry in the real world. So why wouldn't you have a marriage between crypto and gaming? Somebody tell me. Somebody answer on a postcard. I can't think of a single reason.
You could predict that trend. In gaming, you made unrealistic, stupid, retarded amounts of money. Like you put in $100, you walk away with, I don't even know, like $4,000, $5,000, $10,000. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
If you want a couple of gaming tips from Crypto 7, Superverse, Superverse, and which I think is on Coinbase, and Echelon Prime, which I think is also on Coinbase. Echelon Prime, ECHILLON. Next word, Prime, PRIME. Yes.
Happen to you, you had to be a sharp crown in the box. Again, I'm not promising that's going to happen to you. I'm just saying people that called gaming or specific narratives last run, they walked away with so much money it was goofy. Now
well, that's enough. That's enough from Alex. It can get enough, can't it? Fortunately, he only does videos once every couple of weeks or so, but you can see they are devoured by investors, and that's absolutely fantastic. So look, to summarize, there are 3 doorways. There aren't 4. There aren't 2. There's definitely 3 doorways. Doorway 1 is we now explode into an altcoin season, a blow off top. We start accelerating now into altcoin season, and I'm seeing evidence for that. We've got higher searches for best altcoins than we've ever seen in the history of mankind. My Instagram feed's just been overtaken by crypto clips. If you've seen that as well, or seen other things that make you think that retail are coming in, let me know about them. You know, if you've got friends asking you about crypto suddenly, if you're getting phone calls or texts, let me know in the replay. I look at all the replay comments, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Which mean we could be over in 4 months, or even less if there was to be some big black swan event or something. So 4 months to get rich, can we do it in that time? Absolutely. So long as you're uncomfortably invested in the cause. Look, the cause are going to do very conservatively 50x, anything upwards of 200x. A strong power force says it depends. If we get an exchange listing, maybe that's you go from 200x to 400x. On investing now, obviously, if Richard streams with Ivan on tech, then maybe we go from 400x to 800x, which is only a 2x. You see, if you're buying now and we go up to a 400x in the next 4 months, and then Richard streams with Ivan on tech, and we do another 2x, and you don't get 2x, you get 400x, because 2 times 400 is 800, which half of 800 is 400. You get the idea, guys. Everyone who subscribes to Crypto 7's above average looks and intelligence. I've enjoyed streaming with you. Thanks very much for the generous super chats, guys. We've got Strong Power Force, who's a very strong supporter of the channel, always makes clever comments. We've got Neymar White, another strong supporter of the channel. And Ash Moore gets surprised for being the first guy to get the supers rolling. I have noticed that some days I don't get any supers at all, and other days I get a load. So I think a lot of kudos has got to go to the guy that got the first one in, which was Ash Moore today. So special thanks to Ash, but also Neymar and Strong Power. You guys are legends as well. Chat to you all again very, very, very soon, as my friend Ivan on check. Oh, Ivan on, you know what I'm trying to say. Ivan on tech. 2 shout outs for this channel in a week. How many shout outs has Somi had? None. You win. His followers lose. Cheers, guys. And I think that's going to be the story of this bull market. See you in Monaco. First round of drinks on me in Hotel Paris. Cheers. Bye.